Okay, students, I want to show you how to do the layout for the heat transfer. This is a layout that I did, a simple one as an example. And if I hit Command Y, you can see the outline view versus the preview. And it's the outline view that you want to check when you're vinyl cutting to make sure everything's okay. Well, this is one that's completed, so let's start a new one and go right back to the beginning. So if I go to File, New, we're going to be creating a 6x6 document, one that should give you plenty of room to do some things. And the example I'm using here, I'm going to use an image I got off the internet. Now the image is that Packer G, so I'm going to place the image. And when you get something off the internet, make sure it's a clean image, make sure it's a good resolution. This one, as you can see, is 500 something by 300 something. That's about minimum. You don't want to go much smaller than that or it'll be pixely. So we're going to place the image in here, and then we're going to do an image trace. Now you could click on the button here, but there are some other features we need to get to. So we're going to open up the image trace palette, and remember, palettes are always under Window. So if we go down to image trace, we have some more options now. Now in this palette, there's only one main thing you need to do here. Yours will probably open up without the advanced expanded, so what I'm going to do is expand that out. You want your method to be this one, which is called overlapping, so it doesn't double trace the lines, which we have a problem with the image trace. So once you set the overlapping, we should be good to trace it. Now once it's traced, you might have to do some threshold adjustments to get a better image. Let me move this out of the way so you can see it better. And with the threshold adjustment, as you increase, you'll get usually a little thicker image, darker image. As you decrease, you get a lighter image, and sometimes it'll even disappear if you go too light. So if you want to get a clean image, you're going to want to play around with this a little bit. You know, look at things like the corners, the edges to make sure it looks clean, and that actually looks pretty good. So this is the image I want, but it hasn't been converted to vectors. If I hit Command Y, you can see there are no paths there yet. So what I'm going to do now is expand, and then it finishes by tracing around and putting the vectors. Most images that you trace will have a white box around them, and if I go to Command Y, you can see that that is actually a path that would cut. If I'm vinyl cutting, you're not going to want to cut that. So first thing I'm going to do is take my white arrow and select that outside box. It only selects this portion of the box right now, so if I hit delete once, it only deletes that part, but if I hit delete twice, the whole thing goes away. Now I want to check something here to make sure that we don't have double paths. Sometimes when you trace, you'll get a double image traced over. So if I delete that section, you can see there's nothing behind it, so I'm going to undo. Alright, so this image is ready to go. I just need to select it and resize it. I'm going to hold the shift down when I resize so I get it proportional. Let's switch back to preview. It's a little easier to move and grab and see things. Whoops, there we go. Okay, so once I have that image in place, then I'm going to add some text. And I have some room down here to do that, so I'm going to put the words all in caps, P-A-C-K-E-R-S for Packers, my favorite team, of course. And as I look at fonts, I want to choose something that would be easy to vinyl cut and easy to peel out and weed out after it's cut. So I'm going to go with Arial Black, which makes a nice thick image, and resize that, of course, holding down Shift again. Okay, we have some strange things going on with my computer here today. Alright, there we go. So now the Packers is there. Now I also want to expand that so that we don't have any font problems. So I simply go to Object, Expand, and then OK that, and we'll have paths around that. Of course, once you expand, you can't change the spelling. So if I spelled Packers wrong, I would just have to undo or start over so I can fix that. So here's my image. I want to now save that, and as I save it, I want to give it a name that makes sense, one that is going to be easy to find later, and I'm going to call this G iron on. Let's take this off of all caps. Iron in, iron on. Okay, so I want to, of course, save that in my folder where I normally save things. You can save things in your desktop or in documents. I'm going to put it in documents and save it. And then, of course, we'll put that into your M drive later so that you can access that from the vinyl cutter. So that's how you do it. Make sure that you have all vector images. Make sure you check the outline view to make a good image for vinyl cutting. Have fun.